Frightener22 here, and welcome to my January 16th DVD update. I'm trying to do these a little bit more regularly because I finally came to the realization that my buying habits are just really out of control, and waiting 2 to 3 weeks just always results in like 25 to 35 minute videos. So I kind of want to try and do these at least like once every week, or at least every week and a half, because I just tend to get a lot of stuff in from each Tuesday, and then, various blind buys or impulse buys will always come up. So this is a really modest DVD update compared to many of the other ones that you guys have seen in recent weeks, so I don't want to waste any more time. I just want to get into it so you guys can be treated to a relatively shorter but nonetheless more informative video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first one I got is the Blu Ray edition of Terri, and if you guys have been visiting cinemasickness.com, the Team Sickness area of the website, I'm actually a Team Sickness member, and I do reviews every day. They're called the Cinema Sickness Daily Servings Review. I have them posted on my YouTube page as well, but definitely head over to cinemasickness.com because our faithful leader, Cinema Sickness, offers really great videos on a daily basis, and there's just a slew of other really great Team Sickness people there. But Terri was one of the films that I reviewed as part of my daily servings review, and if you watch that review, you can get a better idea of what I thought of it. Overall, not really the greatest, kind of a film that was very conscious that they were an indie film, and they kind of took advantage of that and just kind of tried to be as weird as they could, and kind of, use the whole I'm an indie film angle to a little bit too much to its advantage. It's a little too weird for its own good, but like I said, if you're curious about it, don't take my word for it. Definitely, see it, for your own pleasure, but if you want to hear more detailed reviews of it, then definitely head over to my Cinema Sickness Daily Servings Review. The next one I got was one that I got fairly cheap. This was like $7.99, and this is the Blu-ray of Michael Mann's 1995 classic, Heat. I love this film. I think it is so friggin' cool. Michael Mann has just got great style. He just breathes fucking style and atmosphere into this. You have a great cast by Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer's in this. It's an excellent crime film. Hands down, one of Michael Mann's best, if not his greatest. Another one that I picked up for $7.99 was another Michael Mann film from '06, and this is the unrated director's edition of Miami Vice. Now, I did own this on DVD a few years ago. I picked it up at like a Walmart $5 bin, but the DVD versions were not the unrated director's cut. And although I didn't really think the most of this movie, because I kind of thought it was a little too convoluted and hard to follow, I wanted to pick this up because I hear the commentary track on this is really good, and being a huge fan of the original series, I own every single episode. I figured, what the hell, I may as well upgrade to, the best possible edition of the movie, just to own everything Miami Vice related. So it has been quite a few years, and I'm actually looking forward to revisiting this, because I remember the trailer for this coming out with like the Linkin Park Jay-Z song blasting over it, and I thought that is like one of the coolest, it was just a very exciting, stylistic trailer, as what you can expect from a Miami Vice movie, but it got me really excited. But overall, the end result kind of disappointed me back in '06, but I am excited to give this one a second go around. The next one I got again for $7.99 was a Joe Johnston film. Many of you guys know him as the director of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and most recently Captain America, but this was a film that he did earlier in the decade starring Viggo Mortensen, and this is called Hidalgo. This is like an adventure film. Don't really know a whole lot about it, but, I've read enough about it that's gotten me interested, and anything with Joe Johnston in it, I'm always interested in. He's, he has had a very modest career as a director, but all the things that he's done, I've really liked, actually, and Hidalgo is just one of the few, if not the only film of his that he's directed that I haven't seen, so I'm excited to own it and check it out. Moving on, I got some Disney television shows that I just wanted to finish up my collection on. So the first one I bought was Disney's DuckTales Volume 2. What a great, excellent show. I mean, Disney really had a hold on, 90s televised animation. They just had so many great television shows, and this is hands down one of their best, and this is a show that actually has one of the best television theme songs of all time. Great show. And luckily I finished off my collection At least this point in time, Disney never completed releasing all the episodes of this show, so they're still missing episodes, but every volume that they have out up until this moment in time I own now. So finishing up, I have Volume 3 of DuckTales. Like I said, great classic show, awesome stories, and a killer theme song. The next one I got, again, this is all the episodes that they've released up until this point in time, but this is not another show that I grew up loving. Such a great, funny, awesome show, and this is the Volume 2 set of Darkwing Duck. Excellent Disney show. I grew up just loving this character. I had so many of the toys from, I guess it was either McDonald's or Burger King, whichever fast food chain was putting out toys for them, but I had all the toys when that was originally released. But this was another great Disney show that was produced, so I definitely recommend checking this one out. Just last week, Shout Factory finished up their collection of the Dennis the Menace show, so I picked up the final season of Dennis the Menace. I really like these covers. At the beginning, I guess it was kind of like odd that it was like, the live action kid mixed in with like a comic, a comic strip environment. But I kind of liked it because Dennis the Menace came from, a comic strip. So I kind of like how they kind of blended the two together. So this is the final season. Shout Factory was really on top of putting these seasons out pretty quickly. So it's always really great to just, see a whole show's worth of all the episodes lined up on your shelf. So I'm really happy to own all the episodes now. And also on the same day, Shout Factory finally put out the second series of one of my all-time favorite cartoons, and this is G.I. Joe, an All-American Hero, Series 2, Season 1. So this isn't the 80s version. This is when the G.I. Joe cartoon hit the 90s. So this is actually a separate series in and of itself. So really happy that Shout Factory has finally gotten around to starting to release the episodes from Series 2. I had just a few weeks ago finished my Season 1 set of the 80s cartoons. They're awesome. They still live up today as much as they lived up to then. I absolutely love this cartoon, so I'm happy to continue finishing, the whole enchilada of all the episodes. Moving on, I picked up a ton of the Universal 100th Anniversary Blu Ray DVD combo packs. These things are friggin' beautiful. The slipcovers on these are just excellent, so there's a lot of choice titles in this, and I'm really happy to own a lot of them now. The first one I got is the Blu-ray DVD copy of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Just a classic 80s gem, one of the best. Sean Penn is in this, Jennifer Jason Leigh. And like I was saying, this is the slipcase. So what happens is obviously they open up, and in the inside there's a bunch of facts on it. There's a whole timeline of the 70s leading up to the release of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. They highlight the Deer Hunter, Animal House, Coal Miner's Daughter. So it is really cool leading up to that. And this is, this basically ports over the special features that I believe that was in the last special edition of the DVD, reliving our Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a feature commentary with the director Amy Heckerling and writer Cameron Crowe. So yeah, this is an all-around good one. The next one I picked up was 1989's Field of Dreams, starring Kevin Costner. Always loved this film. This was a great film, and harking back to my Billy Elliot review from the other day, this is another film that really delves into that father-son theme that I really like to see in movies, and when done well, it's always a good time, and Field of Dreams is no exception. It's an excellent film that handles that theme really well. The next one I got, another 80s favorite of mine, quite possibly John Hughes' masterpiece, 1985's The Breakfast Club. Excellent film, great performances from these up-and-coming actors. It's, John Hughes' probably crowning achievement in his whole directorial, catalog. The next one I got, surprisingly, is a blind buy. I remember the craze of this movie and its sequel, but I never actually watched the film. I just never did. So I finally just wanted to do a blind buy on it since it came out in this great, this great 100th anniversary packaging. And this is 1995's Babe. Yes, the movie with the talking pig. And from what I remember, I think the pig is voiced by the same woman that did the voice of Chucky Finster in Rugrats. But yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. I'll probably be watching this one this week. And of course, what I just reviewed last night, 2000's Billy Elliot. Really great film from 2000. highlighting an 11-year-old kid in a coal mining working class English town in the mid 1980s that develops a fascination with ballet. It's a great film. It was the debut film for Jamie Bell, who's since gone on to portray Tintin in Steven Spielberg's The Adventures of Tintin. Excellent debut film for him. Excellent film all around. Next one I got is a Ron Howard film from 2001 that I've always really loved. Won a ton of Academy Awards the year that it came out. So this is Russell Crowe and Ed Harris in A Beautiful Mind. I know a lot of people are kind of split between this. Some people hate it. They think it's so, just kind of overrated. But I've always liked it. I mean, I kind of saw it without really knowing much knowledge about it or, the awards that it was nominated for that year. I guess I just wasn't, I didn't really pay attention to the Oscars that year, and I kind of saw this probably a few years after the hype of it and whatnot, but I've always really liked it, so I wanted to upgrade my full-screen DVD version to this really wonderful Blu-ray edition. And the final one that I've picked up until this point is one of my favorite films from 2005. I really just loved this film. The performances from the actors are stunning. The direction was great, and the cinematography in this film is just breathtaking. This is 2005's Brokeback Mountain. Really, like I said, really great performances. The late Heath Ledger really gives a lot of heart into this one, as does Jake Gyllenhaal. You get other great performances from Michelle Williams and Anne Hathaway, and Ang Lee's direction just brings this home. And like I said, the cinematography in this is just really breathtaking. Excellent film. I believe Ang Lee won the Best Director Oscar that year for this film, but yeah, really good film. I liked this a lot when I saw it. And the upgrade and save program from Best Buy, I just went there a few days ago and traded in a bunch of titles. I believe I traded in 10 titles, and I picked up 10 Blu-rays, all for $4.99, except one that I paid, I think it was $12.99 with the discount, because it was a brand new film. So let's go ahead and get right into those. The first one I got is the animated film from 2009, 9. I liked this movie a lot. I just never got around to getting it, but I am really happy that I waited because I scooped this one up for $4.99. But this is cool. A really dark-rooted animated film, very much in the style of things like Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas. It just has a very dark and very cool looking vibe going on throughout it. So definitely recommend checking it out. The next one I got is a Scorsese flick starring Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, and Jessica Lange, and this is the remake of Cape Fear. I definitely remember watching this one and not thinking, the greatest things about it. I mean, I thought it was decent at best. I wasn't completely blown over by it, but it has been a few years, but I definitely remember my initial reactions were just kind of like, it was okay. I didn't regret watching it by any means. I mean, it's De Niro and Scorsese, so you're going to get something worthy of your time. I guess, as, in comparison to other things like Casino and Goodfellas and Raging Bull and Taxi Driver, this kind of is a little bit lower on, my list of the De Niro and Scorsese collaborations. But I do want to revisit it, hence the reason I bought it. The next one I got, I actually upgraded my Snapcase DVD just to pick up the Blu-ray of this, and this is the unrated edition of Dumb and Dumber, one of my favorite comedies from the 90s, hysterical. Hearing the Farley brothers are interested in returning for a sequel, and I think Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are looking forward to it as well. A true sequel, not the Dumb and Dumber prequel that happened quite a few years ago, but a true sequel bringing back the actual directors and talent from the original film. So I'd be looking forward to that, but in the meantime, stick with the original for right now. It's awesome. Next one I picked up, again, was for $4.99, and this is Good Will Hunting. This is the film that earned Matt Damon and Ben Affleck Oscars for their screenwriting duties on this. I really like this film. I think the performances are good. I love Robin Williams in it, who plays the psychiatrist trying to help Matt Damon's character. It's really good. I mean, it's constantly on digital cable, but it was one that I did want to add into the collection, and for $5, why not? And this is the one that I believe I paid this was the one that I think I paid like $12.99 for, because it is like a brand new title, and this just came out in August of 2011, and this is Paul Rudd in Our Idiot Brother. This was really good. I thought this was a really charming, heartwarming little story about family. And it's cool. Paul Rudd is in it as, a bit of a pot-smoking slacker, and he's surrounded by his sisters, who's Elizabeth Banks, Zoe Deschanel, and Emily Mortimer. Great performances, really funny, and just, it's heartwarming. Like, it's just a really funny comedy with A-list talent, but kind of has that indie-esque quality infused in it. But overall, it's really good. I definitely recommend checking it out. And then this is moving on to another upgrade and save one for $5, and this is the Blu-ray DVD combo of Raging Bull. This is the 30th anniversary edition. I don't know why I haven't had this in my collection, but then again, I guess it kind of worked out because I scored this for $4.99. But this is an excellent film. One of Scorsese's greatest films, and one of De Niro's best acting roles. But yeah, excellent film. If you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? The next one I picked up, surprisingly, it is a blind buy. This is just one of those late 90s teen comedies that just escaped me, and I never saw it, and I still haven't. So I'm looking forward to checking it out, so I picked this up for $4.99, and this just got released on Blu-ray, and this is Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel Lee Cook, and She's All That. Like I said, this is just one of those late 90s teen comedies that escaped me, and I grew up loving, tons of them. Can't Hardly Wait, Trojan War, 10 Things I Hate About You. There's just, the list goes on and on. There's tons, but this was just one of the main ones that I really miss seeing. So, and it literally just came out a week ago, so for $4.99, I'm willing to take a chance on it. I'm sure there's a good chance I'm going to like it, because I do really like the late 90s teen comedies. Here's another blind buy, surprisingly, that I picked up for $4.99, so I'm going to be probably checking this out within the next 2 weeks, and this is the 20th anniversary edition of Ridley Scott's film, Thelma and Louise. Kind of a shocker that I haven't seen this, I know. I love Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis, absolutely adore them. Brad Pitt is also in this, and I mean, it's Ridley Scott, so it kind of begs the question why I haven't seen it, but all of us film buffs have these little gaps in our film watching, careers where there's just always like certain films that we haven't seen yet, we should have seen, but we can't. It takes time to see these things. But Thelma and Louise is one that has escaped me for many years. But now that I do own it, I will be getting around to it finally. The other one that I picked up for $4.99 was the director's cut of Watchmen. I really did like this movie a lot. I thought it was excellent. Really good stuff. I've read the original graphic novel. I liked what they did in the adaptation. It was great. I just never, ran out to buy it when it came out. But, like I said, it, paid off because I scored this for $4.99, so very happy to own it now. The next one I got was another great, this is a great romantic comedy from director Rob Reiner, and this is 1989's When Harry Met Sally, starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Excellent, excellent film. I love the performances in this. Rob Reiner's direction is excellent. This is just a really funny romantic comedy. This is like the guidebook on how to do a really good romantic comedy that all audiences can enjoy. So definitely, if you want to make a good, romantic comedy that will actually appeal to all audiences, definitely check out When Harry Met Sally. Like, you can't go wrong. And the final title that I picked up for this DVD update is one that I wanted to pick up for a while, and I had gotten a promo from Amazon, so I figured I would finally pick this up. And this is the 3D Blu-ray DVD digital copy version of Conan the Barbarian. No, I do not own a 3D TV, but I did want to get the 3D version because the 3D Blu-ray and the regular Blu-ray version are all on one disc. So it's kind of misleading. You probably think you're going to be getting like 3 or 4 discs in this, but it's 2 discs. But the reason that I did buy this is because all the features are actually on the 3D version, because there is a version that exists that it's just a single Blu-ray, but there's like no special features on this. So I did want to get the features because it has 2 commentaries by director Marcus Nispel, a commentary with Jason Momoa and Rose McGowan, a Conan Legacy, staging the fight. There's just a lot of features on this, so I figured for a few bucks more, I did want to just get all those features. I know a lot of people ragged on this movie, and I don't know why. This movie was such a ton of fun. Like, this was the definition of popcorn fun. I mean, like, it's movies like this, the Brendan Fraser Mummy series, you know, it's things like that that are just popcorn fun. Like, you go to the theater to have a good time, you know, and this is like what you get with Conan. So I don't know why there was so much ragging about this. Yeah, it wasn't Schwarzenegger, but you know what? Jason Momoa brought, I think, more personality to the Conan character than Schwarzenegger did. I absolutely adore the original Conan. I love it. Schwarzenegger's awesome in it. But, you know, I just didn't get why so many people disliked this movie so much. It's really not a bad movie. It's actually really fun. So I definitely recommend checking this out, and don't just pass it off thinking that it's crap because you've heard that from 9 out of 10 critics or, you know, movie reviewers online. This is definitely a movie worthwhile of seeing if you just want to go to the movies and have a fun time. Check it out. Well, guys, that concludes my January 16th DVD update. Tune in again, hopefully in the next week or week and a half or so to check out some more. I kind of like that this was pretty modest, and, you know, although this was 20 minutes long, it's definitely shorter than most of the other DVD updates. So thanks again for tuning in, and be sure to continue tuning in to my Cinema Sickness Daily Servings Review. Thanks again, guys. I'll catch you in another video.